Well, I just thought that number one, we played hard. We played unselfishly. It's a nothing game for those guys. But for us, just the idea of being able to play the name Phoenix Suns. I mean, everyone knows that they're the best team in the league. They've proven that with the way they played and the record that they have. Now, obviously, they didn't play a lot of their guys, but that's okay. I mean, for us, it's learning in baby steps. So we have to continue on that path right there and try to get to the point where, we have been competitive against these guys. We did beat them here when they had all of their guys there. So these are all positive things that we can talk about and try to get to the consistency, maybe not to where they are because, these guys are going to win 65, so they end up winning 65 games, I think, 64 games, and I know what that feel like because we won 62 games when I was here. And when you understand that they won 2 more than that, it's just that, you want your guys to take a look and say, ultimately, this is where we'd like to get to and understand how that process takes place.
Any other questions? Okay. Go ahead, Avery.
Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, Alvin, did you have any, and being that this is the final game and a little bit of an uncertain future, any kind of message you can share that you maybe shared with the team and what that kind of atmosphere was like after the game?
No, I mean, the thing that I said to them is that, it's very important that everybody works on their game. And then when you come back next year, think about what you can do to help the team, not really individual stuff, but what can you do to be a great teammate and help the team and try to ultimately get us in the position where, this team is. You got to understand that. It wasn't that long ago they had the worst record in the NBA. It wasn't like this was 10 years ago. As a matter of fact, it was 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So the opportunity is there, to make great strides. And I think that's what we should shoot for. And I keep using the term, sustainable winning, and I mean, I think that's very important to understand. You don't want to be good for a year and then revert back. You want to establish something so that it's going to be sustainable over a period of time so that, coming in that, we're going to play hard, we're going to make the playoffs. And then, the next step is to try to go deeper in the playoff and ultimately, try to win a championship.
James.
Yeah, Alvin, first up, thanks for being a straight shooter with us all season. It's been much appreciated. Secondly, when it comes to this season specifically, just what is your positives that you take away from this group and this experience?
Well, number one, as I said, I think you can see the growth of Davion Mitchell and the progress that he's made over the course of the year. I think adding Sabonis to our team is going to really help. I think you see the season that De'Aaron had up until the point where he was injured was really, really good. So there is pieces here that you can build on. And I think when you get to that point, you can have sustainable winning. So I think that's very important. I think it's a good bunch of guys. I think it's a good group of guys. For the most part, I thought we competed night in and night out. We had a tough time winning at home, and I still think that has to be a priority. We have to, some kind of way, figure out how to get that home court advantage back that we've had in the past there. When I think about being on the visiting teams that visit Arco, it was extremely, extremely difficult to win there. That's what we have to turn the Golden One Center into. We have to turn it into a situation where when teams come in, it doesn't matter who it is, they've got to feel like they're going to have to fight their ass off to try to win a game there. And I think that's the number one priority that we got to have is to establish home court.
Jason.
Alvin, I also want to thank you just for your class and your professionalism. It is always appreciated. Obviously, there is some uncertainty about what's going to happen next there. what can you say? What do you want to say about just your future with the team and whether you have a desire to stay?
Oh, I mean, obviously I have a desire. I love it here, and I think we're on the right path. As I said, we've got some good pieces. We got good people, from our medical staff all the way up to the, top. So it has been done here before. It's not something that's impossible to do. It's been done here before. So you just have to wait and see. But all of those things are not in I don't make those decisions. So whatever happened, I mean, hey, if it doesn't work out, then I've had a great 2 years here. Love the people here. Love the franchise. Love the medical people. Love the media. And that's hard to say. I bet you guys don't get that very often, do you? but no, you guys have been more than straight up with me and fair. And I think you guys have tried to do it objectively and stuff. And that doesn't happen in every city, but I appreciate you guys and what you brought to the table.
All right, we only have time for 30 more. Tony, go ahead, and then we'll go to Sean.
Yes, Coach Gentry, I would have to say you definitely have been a classic character, and I can say that all the way back to when you were coaching Phoenix. So whatever happens here, you have been a straight human being and put all the cards on the table about addressing some of the issues here with the Sacramento Kings, because you have surgically addressed some of the issues coming in here that we have seen over the years. So I want to thank you for that, and enjoyed you. Definitely enjoyed you. But I do want to ask you, though, as far as this job, because there's only 30 jobs in this league. Okay, and you've been coaching in this league for almost 4 decades. Just want to know, where would you rate, where do you stand as far as this coaching job? Because it's a tough job. I mean, there's been 16 years of futility that we've been dealing here, but where would you place this in your coaching career as far as where will you rate it?
But I think you can look at all the franchises, and this is not a franchise that have won. They've won, and it hadn't been that long ago. I understand the non-playoff situations, but there was a time where this organization and this team were in a power struggle with LA to see who can get out of the West and get to the NBA Finals. So, it's obtainable. And I think that there's people in this organization, everybody here wants the same thing. And we just got to figure out how to work and get that and get over the hump so that can happen. It's not impossible, and so we just got to put our heads together and figure out how it can get done.
All right, guys, can speed it up a little bit. Sean, and then we'll close for Christos.
Yeah, Alvin, just being the role that you had before stepping in as the interim title, I'm just wondering if you could envision yourself still remaining with the franchise beyond being a head coach, or is that kind of off the table for you?
I don't know. We're going to meet and talk, and we'll see, how that works out or anything. I do like Sacramento. I think that we have, Monty and Wes and all the basketball op people who are really sharp people. I mean, they've proven that with the draft that we've had already, the 2 years. So I think you just continue to grow. And, obviously we need to add talent to our team, and I think we'll do that. And regardless of what happens, if I'm here or not here, I do think that the thing is headed in the right direction. And I think that's the main goal. And I can't say enough about the fans here, that I'm here all the time now and see how supportive they are and how they reacted. So I think it would be great if we can have the kind of atmosphere that we had out here tonight. And I think that's very obtainable.
All right, Christos, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Coach, how this team, from your perspective, can come back stronger next season?
Well, it has to be, number one, individual improvements within. And then, as I said, I think you'll see that we will try to add some talent to this team also to get to a situation where we can be competitive night in and night out.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right. I appreciate you guys. And let me just say that I think you guys have been more than fair this year with everything that have happened. And, I appreciate the way you covered us, and you know, sometimes harsh things had to be said, but I don't think any of you guys do it from a personal situation. I think, you know, it's opinions that you write about, and I think as coaches and people in front of the camera, we have to understand that and respect that. So I appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Alvin,
Coach.
thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks.